I think like for me, like my like motto in painting has always been there are no mistakes, there's only layers. I say that all the time because
Mm, love that.
I can paint over a flower or a background multiple times, and at the end, it just wasn't right. It wasn't right. I can't figure it. Something's not right. But then by the end, that's created this beautiful texture, or it's created this beautiful palette, and but it was this process
Mhm.
that I had to go through to get to that. And I even go back to even how this whole painting thing started. Um, I had to quit something that I was really good at in order to change gears, because it wasn't what I was doing, which I had felt called to do,
Mm,
wasn't working for me anymore. And so just to have this second chance at something and to see it, like, be able to give all credit to God, because there's no rhyme or reason for me to have a career in
mhm.
art. Like, it is, I mean, I was crafty, but I have no degree in it. It wasn't the path, but and along the way, just to see how
Mm,
God's used everything to get me to this point. But even how I started was like a wrong turn, and like a literal wrong turn. Like, I'd started painting, and I was selling like to friends, and mom, and all this kind of stuff. And a friend's
mhm.
like, I really think your stuff would go in a store. And I have a friend that owns a store. I think you should. I'm going to call her and tell her you're going to stop by. And I'm like, okay, cold call. I don't want to do that.
Mhm.
And I remember I made a wrong turn. I went to the wrong store. I went, and you know what I mean? Like I
Oh,
turned to
like a
her, and I
literal wrong turn.
literal wrong turn led me to, and then because I got in that store, I walked in, I was like, I don't think this is the right store, but I love this store. And I started talking to the owner, which is not like, I'm kind of an
Mhm.
introvert and like selling. So even like that, getting into that store is what a rep for a big company saw my work there. And that's how I got my licensing in that degree. I mean, it's like if
Wow.
I hadn't taken the wrong turn, I wouldn't have been there. And so I having that as the base of all that I'm doing right now is so helpful, because when Sophie was little, she was a perfectionist. Like, we were very concerned about her, because I worked with those kids. The kids I worked with at school were either ones that had true learning disabilities, or there were some emotional things. Like, they were such perfectionists that if an A minus was not good enough for them, in an honors AP class. And
Mm,
so I was like kind of concerned
mhm.
about her. And so, that whole like mistakes just show that you're trying, and mistakes are just layers, and there's going to be something beautiful on the other side. And that,
Yeah.
like, and so I love that she gets to see me fail. I've had collections that have tanked and like not done well. I've had business relationships that have gone south, and she's had to see me work through all that.